How many people are in here, honey? Hello, hello. Hey! Hello, girls. Hey! Get up on your feet, ladies. Let's go! Give yourself permission to take a little stretch break. I know it's been a day. Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Let me open my screen, see who's all here. Can you all hear me okay? Thumbs up. Very cool, very cool. Okay, so excited to have y'all. Let me see who's here. Ava, Pia, Shay, Patty, Grace. Grace, you made it. Nina, Tina, Christina, Santa Maria. I'm just kidding. Fallon got that. Terry, Crystal, oh my goodness. Keep writing your names. Change your name on your little square if you haven't already. Just put your little cursor over your square, change your name, add your Instagram handle so we can keep in touch. So if you haven't already, change your name, comment what you do and where you're calling from, make friends and follow. We love generous connection here at Come Alive Co. I haven't introduced myself yet, but I'm Shay Elizaga Castro. I'm the founder of Come Alive Co., where we believe that you were made to come alive in your unique gifts and calling. And that is why we help you show up and scale up your business in the way that you deserve using the power of your brand story, which is what we'll talk about today. So share a snap of today's training on your stories if you feel compelled. We love cheering you on Instagram. If we're not connected already, believe me, I'm gonna slide in your DMs and just thank you for being here. And again, we're all about conversation. You OGs know what's up, so get ready to light that chat box up like a friggin' Christmas tree. Come on, guys. Comment what's up, say hi to everyone. Yes, I love seeing your beautiful smiles. Oh, love it, love it. I wish I could see y'all this whole time, but okay. So, today we're going to be talking about the makings of your brand story, so thank you so much for being here. We are all impact-driven women here who are looking to make a difference through our businesses in the world, and your brand story is your #1 way to do that. So here's the bad news, and by the way, this is a 2.0 training. If you haven't been to previous trainings, you'll get a resource after that to go over the basics, but we're going to dive in here real quick. Are you guys ready for that? Good? All right, awesome. So what brings us here is that there's bad news. Your aligned client, which I call them because they're aligned with who you are and what you have to offer this world, sees like 4,000 to 10,000 ads a day. That feels very violating to me. I don't know about y'all. So they need to hear from you about 20 times to buy, which again feels like a very violating number. And you're like, how the heck? The good news is that your brand story is your #1 way to show up consistently and beat the noise. It talks about who you are, what you do, and why that matters. And let's just give it up for my late night clip art searches and this really relevant thumbs up sign. Fallon is it's up. Your brand story also makes you up to 22 times more memorable, according to psychologist Jerome Bruner, because storytelling triggers emotion, which in a lot of cases actually compels buying before reason. Yes. So Jeff Bezos, Amazon billionaire who's getting richer during COVID, which is why I'm here, to help y'all boost that up even more, yourselves. He says that your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. But I say that your brand story is what is, sorry, you can't see. So your brand story is what propels them out of that room to come find you. Your brand story ignites loyal clients and inspires action. And being able to inspire action is really important because we want people to be able to find you and follow your next step of action. So this brings me to why you're probably here, especially if many of you don't know me. And just to pause, I would love to hear in the comments, who's a Come Alive Co. OG? Like, how many of you have been talking to me on Instagram? And then how many of you are newbies? How many of you have never come to one of my trainings before, but how many of you are excited to be here? Leave a comment below. Yeah, first time. Welcome. I'm excited. Hi, Julia. Hey everyone. Yes, yes, Grace, you're an OG. Joy, you're like one of the originals. Ava, but I've known you since college. Oh my gosh, this is so great. Oh, thanks, Christina. Okay, well, you might be here if pesky writer's block shows up each time you hit the page. So you know the Karens of the world. I like to call it Karen cursor, and every time you try to sit down at Google Docs, the cursor just keeps blinking at you like, okay, Karen cursor, calm down, I get it. Grace. You might be here if it's hard to accurately convey your epic impact in words. So as impact-driven women, you know that you can change lives, hundreds, thousands of lives with what you do and who you are, but sometimes it can be hard to step out of yourself and put that into words. Karen Cursor, yes. Holler if any of these relate to you. Like a bad Tinder match, you attract clients you tolerate, not love. Life is too short to tolerate bad coffee and bad clients, right? These are the clients who really take half of the money that you should be making. They take all your time so you can't say yes to the better projects, and they really suck your soul. So it's like bad dating of the 21st century. No room for bad clients, that's right. And no room for bad coffee, yes. Maybe you're not 100% confident in your X factor. Oftentimes as women, we are not told to boost ourselves up, right? I was just listening to the Beyonce album before this, and one of the people was saying we are taught to compete against one another, but not for jobs. So it's really hard to talk about what we're good at. Next, you may come down frequently with comparisonitis. No COVID here, only comparisonitis. It's when you're feeling so good about yourself, you nailed that client meeting, you sold your products, but then you're scrolling on Instagram and you see that woman in your network made another high-figure revenue month. And you're like, why am I even here? That can stop you from showing up, which sucks. Maybe you had a launch that I know you poured your heart and soul in and you just feel so defeated. That's not fair either, because we need people like you to keep showing up. And finally, maybe you're like me and you come from a corporate background, so you've been taught to show up professionally, but you struggle to share the personal sides of you, which again is a loss for the world because you're pretty great. I mean, your mom says so and she's not wrong, am I right? So we need to be able to show all sides of you because people really connect to the personal sides. So put a comment in the box, which ones do you relate to most? Joy, ugh, 5. Right, Shay? And holler to the moms who are here. That means you are always right. Seeing a lot of 5s? Yes. I mean, Instagram's a highlight reel. Oh, Joy, so good seeing you. Roar, right? Yeah. Oh. All right, yeah. So a lot of these are resonating, and that can stop you from showing up as your fullest self, which is not what we need. We need to see you fully. So the better news is, he's back. This is the last time, I promise. Your breakthrough brand story is your #1 tool to attract your aligned clients, even while unplugged. Y'all, we work like 24/7, right? Our business is our life. But as the CEOs of our business, we need to take time off for ourselves. I was super excited because after a 2-month unplugging journey, I mean, we all needed it this year, I came back to selling my highest packages yet, and I wasn't even online. So take it from me, it can happen. It's your #1 tool to break through your revenue goals by conveying how epic you are. Again, I want you to be able to work with the people you will have the biggest impact with because you can accurately convey just what your impact is. Thanks, Shay. Oh, it's just the blessing of a brand story. You can show up online finally. I heard from so many people that like you show up and you're burnt out. You don't know what to post because you're like, what even is my message? And it's that energy that attracts your ideal clients. You could say, hell yes to partnerships, speaking in press instead of leaving opportunity on the table. I saw this amazing story on my feed yesterday. This woman was, oh, she's part of Yellow Co. What's up, Yellow Co? If any of you are here. She was prompted by a reporter friend, like, hey, we have 30 minutes. I want to interview some small businesses. Are you ready right now? If that landed in your lap, could you say yes? And could you convey your message quickly? So she showed up and she did a really good job. To beat copy constipation and flow with your words. How's that for a metaphor? Yeah, it sucks when you show up to Karen Cursor and you're like, I don't know what to say, but with your breakthrough brand story, you will. And finally, you'll be able to enter any room like the Lizzo of your freaking life. So which result excites you most? I'm in the right room. I was like, poop jokes? No, that's not beneath me. Lizzo, yes. Excitement to post. You are the Lizzo of your own life. I think that's the shirt we release, guys. You are the Lizzo of your own life. Showing up, awesome. Flow, yeah, being able to show up and know what to say. Yeah, I mean, getting stuck in your messaging is not only frustrating and exhausting, it's also a little embarrassing because you're leaving money and opportunities on the table, but you're also not stepping up fully into who you're made to be. So I want y'all to realize you are the Lizzo of your own freaking life, so own it. Next. Okay, well, yeah, that was Lizzo. That was Lizzo, Julia. I should have prefaced that. Here's a woman dancing on screen for you. Enjoy that, booty. Well, who am I and what the heck do I know? Why should you listen to me? And first of all, thank you for showing up. Well, Adult Swim once called me the perfect blend of art and science, which by this very scientific diagram means that I am the intersection of strategy, data, and creativity. Me. So put in your comments, raise your hand, whatever. If you have felt like you're a very multidimensional woman and you're like, why do I keep doing so many things? Yeah. Yes, my life. You're like, why? Well, Come Alive Co's belief is that you're made in your unique gifts and calling. That means that all the gifts that you've accumulated through your life is to be used for the greater good. And so I can speak on this call. I see Joy. She's an amazing teacher transitioning into a life coach. How do you think her patience with her students is going to help her with these amazing women and helping them flourish? If you can harness a room of like how many teenagers, imagine what you'll do with women. So I say this because my background was as a PR person, a brand strategist. I was doing data analysis and insights, business development, until I finally found my spot in creative. But then, of course, I left the advertising world, and I'll tell you about that in a little bit. But the gist of this is that I get to use these results for you. Getting these results for clients like Toyota. I helped them launch their first hydrogen cell fuel car, which is cool. And that sold out in 16 minutes, thanks to the power of story. Holy mother. And they didn't even get their car in like until 16 months later. So that was pretty crazy. UFC Gym is what I won my communicator award for, making it more inclusive to women. And I checked their Instagram recently, and it's so cool to see all these women saying, thanks to you, I get to try boxing. Joy, again, I know you're a boxer here. Or for GoDaddy, helping them at the Super Bowl to reach small businesses like us. So being able to merge the head and the heart through the power of brand story is what helps brands get results. But even more importantly, it helps small businesses with big heart get the meaningful impact and income that they deserve. And I love looking at this amazing side of women because like all of you here, they all left the comforts of their job to start something meaningful and impactful in the world. I love it. I wanted to ask y'all what your impact is, but I'm going to save that for later. Jamie, yes, Jamie. All right. So now that you know what we're doing here and who I am, we're going to cover the 3-step process to your breakthrough brand story. This is high level. We're going to dive into step 2 of that process, which answers the #1 question most people have, which is, what do I share from my brand story when I have so much to share? This is through your brand story framework. We're going to dive into an exercise too, because I love doing hands-on exercises with you. We'll uncover part of your X factor, that thing that makes you stand out. And then if we have time, we'll run through a 5 to 8 minute visualization, because I want you to leave here feeling celebrated. Finally, you're going to get an announcement for you here first, plus exclusive bonuses that I haven't announced to anyone. So thank you for being my MVPs and spending this hour with me. Fallon, you turned into a guy. Hi. Hey, Steven. And then add on, we're going to do Q&A at the end. So I know you might have burning questions. Please save them for the end. Write them down. Remind yourself to say them at the end, because we're going to fly through this training. I want to give you as much value as I can. And also, I want to thank the 40 of you who filled out that brand story questionnaire. Clap it up for them, y'all. It's because of those people that this training is happening today. I sent out a questionnaire a month ago and asked, what is it about your brand story that you're struggling with, etc. And so 40 women, amazing women, volunteered their time to fill that out. And because of them, I was able to put this training together for you. One lucky winner is winning a 1-hour consultation with me on their brand story. So I will announce that right after this in stories and email. Stephen, you're the best hype man. What's up, Fallon Stephen? Okay, so again, that question is, how do I know what to share from my brand story when I've got so much to share? So the step one is to know your aligned client. Now, you might hear this a lot, but in order to know what you're talking about, what offers to create, how to show up on stories and speak, you really need to understand who your client is and what they want. And step two, which we'll dive into today, the purpose of this framework is knowing exactly what makes you stand out with a consistent, compelling message that captures your epic impact and again, inspires action. It's not just about getting people to talk about you, but about taking the next step into your brand story so they stay engaged and keep connecting 20 times. So here's an overview of these 3 steps. It's really important first to know your aligned client. And no judgment, but I would love to know, when is the last time you actually interviewed your clients, whether through a poll or an email? Put that in the comments. Never. Yeah, never. Months ago. A month ago. Yeah, I mean, we're just not taught this in the entrepreneurship space, exactly how to talk to our ideal clients or what to ask them. And so when I was doing brand strategy for Dell, and I didn't mention this, but we actually won, I was working in advertising before and I left and started Come Life Co. again to help more amazing women like you. But using brand strategy techniques, we actually won a $1.5 million rebrand that was inspired by my dad. And that one I love because it was so beautiful and so personal. But the power of brand story and strategy is being able to ask the right questions to get the right language to connect to your customer. So my tip is always to interview your potential clients every quarter at least to refresh. You can also do this really easily on stories using their poll buttons, the question button. People really want to know that you want to know what they want. So they love giving feedback. Grace, Quench Collective, and Pia both are amazing at this. And bonus, it helps you refine your offerings. So if you're like, I don't know what to offer, what price point, etc., asking your clients these deep questions is a great way to know that. Next is owning your story through the brand story framework. Whenever people ask, what do I share from my brand story when I have so much to share? That question is usually rooted in thinking that your brand story is the same thing as your personal bio. Raise your hand, it's totally cool, or raise your hand or comment in the comment box if you actually thought before this that like, oh, my brand story is my life story. Yeah, it's my history, etc. It's about me. It's totally okay if you thought that. So your brand story is actually about your client and how you meet them, where they meet you. And again, we'll go through this soon. And finally, and this is what my clients really love about working with me, is we have to take your core message, your story, and amplify it across hotspots. In advertising, we call it consumer touch points. So wherever you speak to your customer and meet them, whether on Instagram, email, a Zoom call like this, or you're offline at a networking event and you meet them having a random conversation, those are called hotspots. And you have to be able to amplify your same message consistently to develop trust across all these hotspots. When you show up consistently, that's how you move them from knowing you to liking you to gaining trust. I'll pause and let you take some notes. Okay. Pia, give me those hotspots. Yes. So at the end of this, we're going to take a first look at how I'm going to help you uncover your brand story through these 3 steps so that you stop second guessing your message and yourself. We don't got time for that. You got to start securing those opportunities, partnerships, and clients you love because the world needs your shine more than ever right now. And so you can finally make the money and the meaningful impact you've so wanted. Peachy? So we're going to dive into your brand story framework piece by piece. And again, this is a high level, and we'll see some examples of some women who are really crushing it at this. So first is your core message. Why? Your customer is a goldfish. Say hello to Betty, your customer. Her attention span is less than 6 seconds. So how do you capture her attention quickly enough? How many of you here, put a comment or raise your hands, have read BFG, the Big Friendly Giant? I keep calling him the Big Freaking Giant. Shay, I knew you would know what's up. Yeah, I call it the BFP. You need to captivate their attention in 6 seconds by showing that you understand their problem and can solve it for them. Because people have such limited attention spans and like so many tabs open in our brain, right? We file people by how they solve a problem for us. Your BFP, your client's BFP, is their big freaking problem. So where does your core message show up? Well, it is the thread that weaves through everything you say and do. That means whether you're on your homepage, your sales page bio, your Instagram bio, your speaker pitches, your hi, my name is, you know, whenever you go to a networking event, people say, what do you do? That's like the #1 dreaded question. You need to be armed with this message that captivates attention in 6 seconds or less. So your brand story framework is this. 1, it shows how you uniquely help your aligned client overcome a problem to achieve a goal. Many of you have been in my past brand message trainings, and we really break this down piece by piece because it's about you uniquely, your gifts, help your client overcome this problem in their mind. Sometimes they don't even know they have that problem, so it's about understanding what they need versus what they want and conveying that to achieve a goal. We always project the dream over the details, or I should say we first project the dream over the details. That's a hot tip. We've got to invite inspired action. Again, keeping them in your brand story and moving them from just consuming your content to doing something about it. And then we want to fold them into your vision. How many of you are Simon Sinek fans? I call him Harry Potter Bay. He revolutionized this idea of start with why. So leading what you speak with your purpose. And so the bottom here, it says, comment. Oops. Sorry, I'm like blocking myself. No cock block here. Comment, what problem do you solve for your clients? This is kind of a trick question because a lot of people don't know how to answer that. So what problem do you solve for your clients, or do you know what you do? Oh, hey, Tiff. Oh my gosh. You know, you solve a great problem. Yeah, and Patty and Chris, you help them see their strengths. So that's kind of like the goal, seeing their strengths, but what's the problem is that they probably can't see their strengths, right? Yes, Tina. Tina and I work together for hers. Yeah, and I mean, this is a great example, which we can dive into examples live at the end of this training during the Q&A. Nina, you say that you solve immunity support, but more than that, you're solving people who feel held back because they're not at their maximum potential to achieve everything that could be possible for them. So you're helping them overcome limitations with your immunity shots and helping them jump into something even more. It's good, huh? Yeah, Tiffany, so many people here do amazing work. I love working with these amazing impact-driven women. Nina. Yeah, identify those blocks from living abundantly. That's really good. Really good. Okay. So I want to give an example of what it looks like to show up with your core message and to really be confident in that. So Kate Chan runs this global design company called Kate Chan Design. She's a pioneer of sustainable luxury. And her vision is to change views of consumption, right? Like I'm trying to get into slow fashion even more. She wants to show the fashion industry that slow and sustainable can be high fashion too. So she secured a meeting with Condé Nast Publications, and what do you do when you get that news except you shake in your boots a little bit? Condé Nast Publications is responsible for magazines such as Vogue, Vanity Fair, GQ, etc. So we wrote her core message along with her brand story deck that she was going to show up and present to these people in suits herself. We wrote this: I believe the future of fashion lies in exquisite design and conscious lifestyle choices. with inspiring, thought-provoking objects that elevate the wearer and artisan in one. K-Chan Design is an exciting emerging label at the forefront of this movement. Join me in redefining luxury for good. So I want to kind of break apart what makes this so effective. So it starts with why, right? She is casting this vision that there's a greater future to fashion than the fast, mass-producing, churning machine we've come to know. She talks about a problem in the fashion industry that fast fashion also tends to hurt the maker, which is why she really focuses on the artisan themselves. The main problem is that fashionistas want to look good. So this is a side note for a lot of nonprofits and sustainable brands. They tend to say, I'm here to make the world a better place. I'm here for slow, conscious choices. But that's not actually what your client wants. What they want is something to feel beautiful in. And by the way, they can also make good choices by purchasing from you. So think about that now that Black Friday is gone, but Christmas is coming up in your content ideas. At the end, what makes this really exciting is that she invites people in and inspires them to action. She says, join me in defining luxury for good, not just for the good of our planet, but for an everlasting period, right? There's always words that capture more in just one word or one syllable. And so again, inviting them to join this movement and not just a moment is really exciting. That was a Hamilton quote. Any of you fans out there? So the results is that she showed up and was able to be clear and confident in her story, in her core message. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and she really took it by its horns and made an impression to the fact that she was invited back for her products to be featured on the cover. So just think, where could your core message take you? That's a rhetorical question, but I'm going to pause for effect. Okay, how are we doing? Tracking here? I can't see you all, so put some comments up so I know how you're doing. Yeah, Pia, that's a really good one. Good, okay. Next, we're going to go to the part 2 of your brand story framework, which is your leader's bio. Now, this is usually the part that most people think their brand story is. They think, how can I talk about my life? And that's it. But your leader's bio is actually the sliver of your whole brand story framework. Why is it effective? It's not just what you do, but who you are that attracts your clients. This is often left out in a lot of bios where we tend to go towards the professional side of what we do over the personal side of who we are. The fact is that people want to do business with people and not just businesses. There's a stat that says 86% of consumers say that authenticity leads my decisions to support and buy from brands. That's why the personal brand is so powerful right now, and a lot of corporate companies are trying to figure out how to be more authentic. But we as small businesses really excel in that area. So I would love for you to guess, drop in the comments below, what are the top 2 visited pages on your site? Okay, Grace might have looked at her stats lately. So normally the top 2 pages, the top page is usually what you're linking to from your socials and usually has the most keywords on it, which is your home page. And then that's usually followed by your about page. Why? Because people want to know who they're investing in. So your leader's bio is used on your about page. Again, the second most visited page on your site. Your about must be written so that it's not necessarily just about you, but shows your aligned client what your experience gets for them. So it's used to secure speaking gigs, press, and partnerships. They want to know about you as a person, not just what you've done for work. And it's also used in speeches, an intro like this, where you're inviting your audience to know you personally so they can trust you. Grace, total guess. All right. So a great bio covers 3 things: your past, present, and future. It talks about how your past really motivated you to solve the problem that you tackle today. It brings people into the present by showing what you're doing today to solve this problem. For many of us entrepreneurs, that means We left a job because it wasn't fulfilling. We weren't making the impact that we wanted to. And so that led us to start our own business to help the kind of people we would like to. And finally, it talks about the future, how you intend to keep using your business for impact. This is where we visionaries really light up, because we're like, yes, tell me your dream of the future. Now there's a story that inspires action. Yes. Any Friends fans here? Again, we want your audience to be like, woo, I'm down for that. I'm joining you in it. Yes. Thanks, Grace. Tiffany, I know that we're the biggest Friends fans. Yeah, Instagram bio. Yep. I couldn't be more of a Friends fan. Could I be any more of a Friends fan? I love y'all. Oh my gosh. That's amazing, Tiffany. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example here, and I cannot talk about who the client is, but this is an example of making money and leading a movement with your leader's bio. So this is a brick and mortar in the restaurant industry, which, as we know, I don't know the stat now, but a lot of them are closing right now across the world, really, because of COVID, sadly. And one of them came to me to write their brand story to appeal for a grant during COVID from a local business, which is Qualcomm, which, as many of you may know, is like a huge tech giant. So what we did is we went into their past, present, and future. And what made it so effective is that we were able to blend their past as a minority-owned business informing their purpose to the present. What they were doing during COVID to stay afloat as a food service provider, right? People, all of us here were forced to pivot. And in brick and mortars, they had to put up plexiglass, et cetera, which was very harmful for a culture that's all about fostering connections in a shared space. And then they're able to talk about the future, which was their greater commitments to giving back. Now, we were able to mirror this with Qualcomm's values. So again, it wasn't just about my client, it was about how they were inviting Qualcomm to take part in that future they wanted to build. So the result is that this excited Qualcomm so much, they won a high 5-figure grant. I remember getting that call and just freaking out, like, holy mother, they picked you? This was huge because working with clients like Dell, $1.5 million is like a drop in the hat to them. But for a small business, this amount of money could do so much good, especially during a time where they had to lay off so many employees. And what's even greater is that their brand story was so effective that they won an unexpected national partnership with Qualcomm. So their video is going to be going live with this behemoth. I don't even know when, but it's going to be great for visibility for them. So again, ponder. What impact could you have with a brand that's elevated across these partnerships and platforms that your shine could really light up? Okay. We're finally getting to the third part, which is exciting because this is the hands-on portion, and I love the hands-on. So this is your X factor. This is a thing that sets you apart along with your first two portions. So why is it called the X factor? Well, I call it that because your X factor is how people experience you. Like supposedly Maya Angelou said, which I found out today was a debunked quote, they may forget what you said, they may forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. How are you making your clients feel? So your X factor really shows up at the hottest spots of conversion in soulful sales statements. And I call it that because it doesn't feel like selling as much when you're truly passionate about what you do. In newsletter signups, in sign up at the link in my bio on your stories. So there are 3 parts to your X factor. There's 2 different sides to your X factor, which I've been able to kind of mine out after 12 years working at this and thinking what really sets my brands apart to their customers and their followers. Because so often in corporate, we're so used to talking about our hard skills, right? Our experience, our wins and results, testimonials. And this is what I lovingly call bro marketing. We're so focused on the what. But what sets this brand story framework apart is that it really reaches into the soft skills. These are the personal attributes, your approach, your values, your voice. This is why so many women and empathetic leader-owned businesses and brands are just killing it right now because we're appealing to the person and not just the consumer. Bro marketing, yeah, that's my vision, y'all. Down with bro marketing. So now I want you to pull out a piece of paper, and we're going to spend about the next 5 minutes on this. So you can write down your piece of paper. You can divide it into 2 columns. And I want you to answer these questions here: experience, wins, personal attributes, values. You can label your different quadrants. That's a word I haven't used in a while. For your experience, it's what professional or personal experience have you had that makes you right for the job? So that can be, I have 10 years in the fashion industry. I'm Google course certified. And I know that a lot of us start these businesses but don't necessarily have that academic approach, but it could just be like you're a walking encyclopedia for inclusivity because you spend the time researching and educating others. So think about that too. Your wins are the results that you get people. It's what clients have said about you. If you look into your testimonials, what is a common theme that people say about you? For your intangibles, your soft skills, personal attributes, I really want you to dig in and take these 5 minutes, ladies and men, to think about, what do close ones love about you? What do you love about yourself? We often don't talk about this, but this is so often your X factor. And finally, what values drive your business? Are you a person of integrity? Are you led by heart, but also strategy? So spend the next 4 to 5 minutes writing all that down, and I will be here. If you have any questions specifically on this section, you can leave them. Putting 4 minutes on the clock. The brand story content of the restaurant owner. Oh, I can show that at the end. Sorry, I can't go back because I want to make sure everyone has this down. I also forgot to say, you all are going to get these slides after in the recording. Woohoo! So I hope you haven't killed your hand doing this. Yeah, Julia. So personal values and professional values can be similar, but a little bit different. So professional values are like pillars that really you operate your business from in the way that you want to treat your clients and lead them feeling a certain way. So for instance, one of my values is integrity. I always put, or excellence also, I put 110% of my best to make sure that my client is getting the best they can from me. Other values, one of my clients says that she values giving personal care because in her business, which is ads, and we'll talk about her soon, Jamie, a lot of people in the ads business subscribe to bro marketing, and she wants to give personal care because she believes that one-on-one personal attention is what brings breakthrough. Yes, for excellence. Cool. Awesome, Julia. Which brings me to a great point. So thanks, Julia, for that kickoff. Once you've done that, start putting it into statements like, my cool thing about me makes my client feel what? An example for that is, my 10 years of experience makes my client feel cared for. My shared love of oat milk lattes makes my client feel seen. I've had so many clients say, you like oat milk lattes too? Was that written just for me? I'm like, yes. No, I love oat milk lattes. Shay. Thank you, Shay, for that social proof. Guys, why am I not an influencer for oat milk? New ideas. All right, let's spend about another minute on this. And also, I would love to hear your comments, so drop them in the box. What personal statements did you come up with? We really want to celebrate with you right here. All right, y'all, we're gonna have to move on. But comment with some statements so we can cheer you on. My patience and passion makes my client feel inspired to take on paddling themselves. Oh, like stand-up paddleboarding? I'm like, what does paddling themselves look like? I'm from like the fraternity sorority world. If anyone knows what paddling is in that world, yeah. My encouragement makes my client feel strong and confident. Yes, I love that. My love and specialty in 90s R&B makes my clients feel like we instantly get each other on a deep level. I love that, Tiff. Tiffany does so many things for mental health and also infuses that with music. I think Tiff and Joy, y'all know each other. But like, that's just a personal part of her that makes her clients light up. Why don't we put this more in our content? My enthusiasm for wellness makes my clients feel connected to accessible, healthy food items. Yes, I love the accessible. That's great. My life experience, that's huge. Makes my client feel understood and loved. Oh my goodness. I'm loving these amazing people here. Thank you so much for showing up for yourselves. Yes, your 5 years of experience cannot wait to work with you. Make your clients feel championed and heard. Oh my goodness. All right. So an example of this, I talked about her. Jamie helps coaches and course creators grow their business on autopilot using Facebook and Instagram ads. How many of you know Jamie? She is a boss and a half. She was already really successful, but she struggled owning what made her stand out in an authentic, not sleazy sales guy way. Again, she uses ads, which is a very bro marketing world. And she was ready to elevate her brand through PR coverage. So through the brand story framework, we were able to discover so many factors about her that set her apart from her competitors. She markets with integrity, she has years of experience getting results, and most importantly, she has a heart to help women trying to do good with their business. So I really had to help her see that self-promotion is not selfish, but it's a service. Y'all, there are clients who need her and you looking for you. We were able to get her newfound confidence in her authentic message because she was so used to talking about herself professionally and not personally. This led to her getting full-length features, not just a quote or a listicle, which is fine, but we got her full-length freaking features in Medium and Yahoo News in 2 weeks. I was like, yes, Jamie, this is a dream. I'm gonna take some credit for this. So she is now positioned to take 2021 by storm. I cannot wait for her to blow up and blow up because she is the type of person who needs to help so many amazing women. So we're gonna spend a few minutes on this visualization exercise before I'm gonna share how I can help you uncover your brand story in 2021. And then I've decided to tack on a 20-minute Q&A so I can really help you through your questions. So it's time for a visualization exercise. If you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes with me. Take in a deep breath. And exhale. Thank yourself for showing up here today. I want you to think about everything you wrote about yourself. And just let that sink in to your skin and your very being. There is no one like you, Tiffany or Grace or Alyssa or Pia. There's no one like any of you on this call. I want you to imagine this confidence moving forward like this, where you would be 5 years from now. What is she wearing? What does she look like? What does that version of you, your most confident, aligned, showing up self, Where does she work? What's available to her and her family? Because she's finally outsourcing and spending time on the important things. Take another breath with me. Now, I want you to imagine your most aligned client. It could be someone you've served in the past or someone that you're likely to serve soon enough. She aligns with your vision and everything that you want to do to help her or him or they serve the world. What does this person look like? Imagine that they're coming to you so joyful because they found you, because you helped them finally break through what's possible for them. What are they saying to you out of gratitude? What is possible for them now that you've helped them and you've shown up fully? Just want you to let this sink in for a second and just let that seep in your bones. All right, take one last breath and open your eyes with me when you're ready. All right, so comment, I would love to know, how did that feel? How was that experience for you? Yeah, needed that breath. 2020 has been a breathless year. Good, hope, reassuring, lovely. Yeah. Much needed in a year of darkness and uncertainty. My other Instagram name is Shay Creates because I believe we create worlds with our words. And even in a time of uncertainty, with a bit of hope and faith and love for what we do and who we serve, we can create a better world around us. Oh, good, Patty and Chris. Yes, own it. Emotional. I know, Rory, you and me. I'm like, thank you all for trusting me to take you there. You deserve all this and more. And my last 12 years, I really left the advertising industry because advertising is built on what you do and what you look like and all these things you have to achieve just to be noticed. But I believe that this woman 5 years down the road is already you today. And that when you own your story and show up exactly as you are, that is when all these things happen for you. And so today we covered your 3 steps to your breakthrough brand story: knowing your aligned client, owning your brand story, amplifying your message across hotspots. We talked about your 3-part brand story framework, which is understanding your core message, writing your leader's bio, and then knowing your X factor. I want to throw on an extended Q&A at the end at 2 o'clock, and so stay on for that if you would like to ask some questions. But now I want to talk about how you can uncover your brand story. Instead of wasting time and energy with those plug-and-play templates or free tips, doubting yourself and hitting pesky writer's block, getting in your own way from these opportunities that you know you deserve, putting up with clients that you tolerate instead of loving, yes, PL, life's too short, or bad coffee, or bad clients, letting other businesses that care less and than you, but have more confidence, rise and shine. Hello, big box retailers, I'm talking to you. Letting imposter syndrome sideline you. You're made to come alive in your unique gifts and calling, and I will spread that message for the rest of my life. And stop wasting time and energy not showing up fully as you, because there's so much more to life than that. You do have it in you to elevate your brand with these gigs, partnerships, press that once felt out of reach, and to stop spinning your wheels so you have your business take off the way that you actually want. To break through your revenue goals, to outsource more so you can do more of what you love, to attract aligned clients you can't wait to work with instead of those you tolerate like a bad date, to actually unplug and enjoy time off, and to say sayonara to imposter syndrome and enter any room like the Lizzo of your own life. Are you all ready for that? Yes, come on. I know you're all here for this. The problem is, and I've spent, again, these past many years looking around for solutions that would help, is that copywriting templates and programs aren't savvy enough for your SaaS. They're either all fun, no foundation, or the other way around. They're shackles to the platform, right? It's like write your website, social media, your press release. I actually had to delay my own program because I didn't feel right just teaching you how to write your website if you didn't understand this foundation to your business and your brand. You get these downloadable programs that don't give community or the expert access you need to really break through. And then on the other side, there's brand programs, which really define your brand, and then what? A lot of brand programs nowadays, or what people say is branding, is actually design. And I know because I've worked with tons of designers in the past. I say that good design catches your eye, but your story wins their heart, and again, leads them to inspired action. We need both. So it's up to you to know your brand story and spread it like a freaking hotcake. So I'm super, super proud to be able to present to you my MVPs before anyone else, this Breakthrough Brand Story Mastermind program. It's launching the week of February 14th, and I did that intentionally because as much as we show love to other people, it is time to show you, your business, your brand, and yourself some dang love, y'all. Am I right? It's a small group of impact-driven women like you, serious about their success in 2021, but who still like to have a ton of fun. Hello. Lizzo and hotcakes, I'm all about it. If you're done wasting time on plug-and-play templates that are more meh than memorable, and you're ready to work with a seasoned pro who's passionate about boosting your brand, business, and life by helping you show up as your most brilliant self, all so that you can scale up your business the way that you see success. It doesn't have to be 6 figures or 7 figures. It could just be flexibility and the freedom that you want. You get to live success on your own terms and to reach those goals that you pinned on your vision board 3 years ago. No shame, I get it. I wasn't here 3 years ago, but now I am. 2021, be ready. Communication is the #1 skill every leader must master, says CEO and rich dude Warren Buffett. I'm ready for y'all to show up like diamonds, and I love this outfit, to be honest. Oh, Pia. You gotta take back your years. This is 2020, it's for so many people. To maximize the heck out of the 2 months together will fast track your success. What you get from this program is unlike any other program. You'll get 8 weeks of group training, weekly Q&As, and 2 one-on-ones with me. I tried to shorten it, but I wanted to give you as much breathing space as possible in education and templates and time with me and time with your community as possible so you really understand your brand story. Because from there, you will be able to evolve your brand for the next 5-10 years without having to hire a copywriter, which I hear that so often. This is a $2,000 value alone, just working with me so that we can dig into your business, align client, and copy with you. Together, we're going to go through the 3-step process and your 3-part brand story framework like we talked about today to know your client, own your story, and amplify your message across your high-touch hotspots. It includes your lion client questionnaire and profile, which is the exact language that you'll need to connect and sell with soul from your aligned clients. You'll get custom templates that fit your brand, like your favorite pair of booty poppin' jeans. They conform to your brand's curves and they support your growth. And it also includes this crazy brand story bank. So this is copy for those high touch hotspots that every business leader needs to show up and scale up so that you can nail that last minute opportunity. That's your brand story framework, your core message, your leader's bio, your pitch bio, your X factor, confidence in that, plus my top copywriting formulas after 12 years of being trained in this, and so much more fitted to your brand like a sexy pair of mom jeans. With a bad A group of women. Yes, this is all of us here. Yes, of course, Patty and Chris, thank you. So speaking of amazing women, what sets us really apart is that it's an amazing community of world-changing women, and you also get dedicated guidance from me. These 2 things alone have been the biggest breakthrough for my business and so many women around me. And I also just want to clap it up for Pia, who's on this call, Grace, and also Marva, if she's here. These are 3 coaches who I've invested in, but I've invested so much more in me. And I'm telling you, I could not have made that same breakthrough if not for their guidance and the women around me, all you Come Alive Co community who are here with me all the time. We're not meant to do this alone, y'all. And finally, why this mastermind kicks butt and takes names. It's the first program, again, because I've researched everywhere, that uncovers your core message, not just the platform or the template. It focuses on bringing out what's in you and not uncovering it up. It uncovers your brand story so you can know, own, and amplify that message everywhere. You'll reach your aligned audience. And what's even more is that you have me with you, writing it so it fits you and your ideal clients. So when you're reaching your aligned clients, your podcast hosts, conference organizers, PR person, the news, everywhere you deserve to show up and shine deserves your core message and brand story. But wait, there's more. You spent this hour with me and we're almost gonna dive into Q&A, so thank you for being on this with me. Because you're here, you get $200 off the public price. So that's less than anyone else is getting it for. If you sign up before January 15th, you're gonna get an extra Q&A with me to work on your brand. And the first 3 to actually sign up get a bonus training, the content strategy that gave my foodie client favorite 8 times the engagement as Starbucks and Pillsbury at 1/10 the budget. Y'all, yes. This is an Oprah moment. You all get this amazingness. Finally, did I forget to mention that if you sign up, you will go down in history as a mastermind OG. I love my Come Live Co community, and you are really gonna get to be the first, which means you get access, updates for the whole year, you get undivided attention from me, and you never get this program at this price again. So you're grandmothered in. Jamie, just a few things of what people have said who have been through this program. Before this Yahoo News full-length feature, I worked with Shay to help me with my brand message, and I can 100% say it was one of the best business investments that I've made this year. If you know Jamie, she's very smart about her investments, so that's a huge compliment to me. Thank you, Jamie. Perla, how many of you love Perla? She's amazing. She said, I've taken all the courses, Marie Forleo, etc., but within 30 minutes of sitting down with Shay, she helped me understand the core emotional motivator my copy had to revolve around to connect with my ideal customers. I know it's 2 o'clock, and if you have to jump off, it's totally cool. I'm gonna leave the link here, and you'll also get it in your email after, so you can apply. And then just one more. Mostra said, when you work with Shay, every moment is devoted to maximizing and delivering on results. My background in corporate and agency is that I always wanna make sure we're tracking and getting your results. I don't wanna waste your time. So what could your brand story do for you? Again, the case studies we showed here, showing up for those partnerships and global opportunities you deserve, being able to win near $30,000 during COVID, and be able to amplify your message nationally with a partnership with someone like Qualcomm, or like Jamie, getting these press features and now being able to position herself and get even greater clients. Yeah, thanks, Pia. Oh. So your breakthrough year awaits. Go to comelive.co mastermind. Again, sign on, you get these bonuses. We'll review your application, and then we'll schedule a call to get ready to dominate. And so I just want to thank you all for being here and spending your hour with me. I really, truly believe that your unique gifts and your calling is what's going to make this world better, because when you live in your gifts and calling, you amplify that shine to those around you and treat the world and people better. So apply today. Follow me on Instagram, take snaps of the stories, whatever, and I can't wait to comment and follow you. So now, thanks, Joy. Anyone can jump off if you have to. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. We'll spend the next 20 minutes if you have questions about this program, what we learned today. I'd love to help you out. So thank you, guys. Thank you. Clapping up for you. Thanks, Julia. Thank you for investing in yourselves and this hour with me. Thank you, Nina. Yes, Grace, thank you so much. All right, you can leave your questions, and I'm gonna play some mood music to get you in the mood for those questions. Okay, MC, I think I saw you raise your hand. I'm not sure how to respond to that, but you can drop your question in the comments, and then if need be, I can unmute people. Yeah, how is it different than Donald Miller's story brand framework? So story brand it helped inform this, but like I said, that was kind of a subtle nod to him. Story brand framework talks a lot about what you do for people and the problem you solve for them, but it doesn't include who you are as a person, a empathetic driven leader, nor your X factor, what makes you stand out. So Donald Miller really speaks to like corporate and agencies and people who are very suited up. That's fine. But as entrepreneurs, we tend to mix business and pleasure, right? People are often connected to us as people. And so this framework really helps you show up and come alive in that personal side so that people are drawn to that, not just what you do. Because like I said, there are thousands of people who do the things that we do, and people really want that personal connection with you. Yeah, bye, Tiffany. question. I have one badass product right now, an immunity boosting wellness shot called the Turmeric Sunrise. I've sold $500 worth of shots, but I've never posted about it. Do you recommend starting to share this on my personal or creative business account, or am I skipping a step? Follow. Do you have to develop your brand story before? Yes. Great question, Nina. Do you have to develop your brand story before? Completely. So the steps are this. You usually start with a business plan, and this is working with a coach, someone like Grace or Pia, to understand what your offerings are and kind of start to understand who your audience is, talk about price points for your program, your product, your service, to understand if there's a market for it. From there, you really need to understand your brand story. So this is a foundation of your brand. How am I going to show up in the world? What language will I use to connect to these people? What is it that really motivates them so I can connect on that level? Most times people skip this and go straight to marketing, which is where they start posting photos, writing captions, etc. And this is just confusing your audience because they don't really know who you are or what you do or what you stand for. And so you're not answering that BFP, the big freaking problem on their hearts and their heads. So your brand story helps you define all of that so that they're just captivated in 6 seconds or less. Do I recommend starting to share this on my personal or creative business account? So I have 2 accounts. I have a personal and a professional because my personal account is not the same as my professional. Now I know we have some amazing other women here like Shay and people who sell products, and a lot of these kind of product companies are really interwoven. They want to see your lifestyle and how you're using these products and your expertise in like healthy products, etc., to boost your life. Tina's another person like that because she helps moms overcome a lot of this guilt and kind of help them live more easeful lives. And so Tina's blending the personal and the professional. So think about, does your personal account speak to your target audience, your ideal client? My personal brand, honestly, is it's a lot of my family that follows me. I'm sure a lot of us relate to that. I'm like, none of you are going to benefit from my brand story training. So I started Come Live Co. to specifically speak to brand story. Other ways to say my experience. Tina, can you expand on that? Like talking about your past experience or the word experience? Yeah, Nina. So that's what gets a lot of people to burn out, is that they don't understand the core emotional motivator. As one of my clients said, they're just posting. They take all these like Instagram courses, etc., and it's like, post about your life or your lessons or whatever. And you're like, I have so many things to talk about. What do I share? So that's why this was created. Thank you, Rory. You're so fantastic. MC, my shared caring and adventure of juice makes my clients feel refreshed. Do you understand? How can I improve? So this is great, MC, because your X factor is not your core message. So your core message talks about your problem. The X factor statement is kind of like the cherry on top. So you can't have a sundae if you don't have like the ice cream and the brownie and the ice cream. Wait, I said that. I really love ice cream. But the X factor statement is like, oh, by the way, you also get the cherry. So really think about what problem you help them overcome and write that statement first, and then X factor is like what adds to it. So my shared caring and adventure of juice makes my clients feel refreshed. Yes, if the problem, for instance, is they face dehydration, or they have a problem of being dehydrated, but they want like a better alternative to water or coffee. And then you're like, oh, and by the way, my shared caring and adventure of this juice is what helps you feel refreshed. Is there a better language to connect to your clients instead of my experience? Oh yeah, I mean, my experience makes yeah, it's not your experience. I would think it's like your life. You're a very lifestyle forward brand, Tina. So it's like, it's basically, it's not your professional experience, which is what that sounds like. It's more like everything I've gone through, the story that I've lived, the journey that God has brought me through. Like, I'm able to show up and do this because of where I've been. Really make it natural to you, Tina. Create the 6-second hook line. I actually have a brand message course on that, so I can send a follow-up about that, but that's like a paid course where it teaches you how to break that down. This was just an overview, but hope you like that little hook. How can we ask our clients what they need? So this is in taking a questionnaire. I only share it with my mastermind clients because it's really in depth, and it's something I learned from actual trained brand strategists, but it involves questions like, what problem are you facing now in reference to your product or service? So for instance, my product or service is brand story, right? But my problem is that a lot of people don't know what brand story is. So I have to overcome the awareness hurdle first. But I spent the last year really educating my audience what a brand story is. And then I was able to pick 40 aligned clients and say, what problems do you have when it comes to your brand story? And even more than that, I found that a lot of my clients were calling it their message. So they would say, yeah, I don't know my core message. And I'm like, oh. So it's understanding that what you think and what they're actually saying could be different. There could be a disconnect. So then in my questionnaire, I said, what problems do you have uncovering your message? Do you know what a brand story is and why you need it? And so being able to ask those deeper questions like that helped me know what kind of content to put out. The structure of crafting a brand story, it's kind of in these steps that I showed you. It's your core message. It's a paragraph of what you do, who you are, and why you do it, as well as these 3 statements or 3 success steps. So this is bringing someone through 3 steps to sign up with you. And then you also write your leader's bio, and that's like the core message is what you do, but the leader's bio is who you are. And then when you're able to marry these together and write these soulful sales statements that involve your X factor, you're able to put that all across your hotspots. So again, it was way too much for me to pack into 1 hour. So that's what that 8-week process is. Any other questions? Drop them. I want to exit out of here so I can see your faces. Any other questions? Feel free to drop them. Whoa, what is that? All right, if that's it, then you know what to do. Go to comelive.co. I'll write it again in the chat. Mastermind. Also, follow me on comelive.co on Instagram so we can keep in touch. If you share a story from this, tag me. I would love to cheer you on. Again, for those 40 people who fill out the questionnaire, thank you so much. I'm going to be announcing the winner after this. I didn't have time to figure out like a roulette thing that could like pick a winner. So if anyone knows a good randomized winner picker, drop that out in the comments too. Awesome, Hannah. Oh, thank you, Joy. Yeah, thank you for showing up. Thank you, Nina. Thank you so much. Yes, Lisa. Oh no, I'm so sorry you're late. Of course, the recording is going to be uploaded this week as well as I think the slides too. So I'll be able to send that out within the week. Oh, thank you. Thanks for showing up. Talk to you then.